Welcome to Grover Load. I'm Anthony, and AMD is buying Node.ai. Now we'll go over to the press briefing here that AMD has. Is they're going to acquire the open source AI software experts. Node.ai is their headline here, and I think this is just another part of their whole overall AI strategy to invest and continue to continue to try to compete better with NVIDIA. Right? NVIDIA has been out. They've had products out here with AI driving it and having what looks like great success according to their stock price and what they've been able to sell other product line here with AI development. And AMD wants a part of that pie. And one thing that AMD's been behind on, especially is the software. Let's not get into too much of the hardware right now. AMD was what is going to be like 6 months behind of where NVIDIA was. But their AI, with CUDA has been behind. They've had ROCm. Um, that's been going and working and kind of chipping away at NVIDIA side. But you still have to go through and improve on the AI side with all that there as well. So here's where Node AI and that investment of purchasing them will help out. Hopefully, AMD here I'll post this what they've said below, but they've gone through and said the acquisition of Node AI is expected to enhance our ability to provide AI customers with open source software that allows them to easily deploy highly performant AI models tuned for AMD hardware. And that's the big thing here, is that even though it's open source, even though everybody can be able to work on it, you're all of a sudden starting to get that it's going to be highly tuned for AMD hardware. And if you can start getting some of the, even if it's open source, highly tuned to AMD hardware, then that can be a buying option that you can get your foot in the door saying our hardware is highly tuned. Here you can buy some of our hardware, use our open source software, because you're going to use these models. You've said that you're going to use these models, or you're using these models, we know you are. And this is a way that AMD can kind of chip away at where NVIDIA is at and have their foot in the door, right? When you're the market leader, which NVIDIA is, right, there's really nobody else there, you have a bigger opportunity to be, once you get your foot in the door, to grow quickly if you are performant, if you are showing a significant gain over, or you're just better in whatever area this is. And I think that's why AMD is really going after Node AI here. I think that this is a next logical step for AMD as they continue to grow, continue to have momentum, since they struggled so bad right before the Gen architecture. Now they're starting to get their footing right. It looks like that they're managing their finances pretty well. And when you do that, then you can also grow your engineering and R&D. And now you're going to have to also maybe get some exterior software side stuff like Node AI and incorporate that into there, because AMD does have Xilinx now, so they have an FPGA to compete with Altera that Intel had bought. They have the GPU side, they have the CPU side. They're getting into AI, which NVIDIA has. Intel is going to get there too, right? Make no mistake, Intel wants that AI, wants part of that AI pie as well. So this is just another one thing where now they have, even though it's going to be, it's open source, they're going to be able to continue to put that in, hopefully have a more dedicated open source team for these things, get better performance, get more things more performant on AMD's hardware, which, I mean, some of their AI hardware looks pretty promising, but it's not out yet. So when it does come out, you have those things and you're starting to get what I kind of see is AMD, especially on the AI side, I hope they finally do this to consumer graphics, is get ahead on the software so that when products do come out, their software is ready from the get-go and it only gets better, and it's not like, oh, we have to go through these growing pains and you as a customer have to go through it as well. So it's interesting to see how this is all going to come together in the next couple of years. I'll be here for it. I'm interested and to see how AMD with their open source strategy with software. I think that's a great idea with software. I really enjoy open source stuff. I'm not a really big fan of closed source, especially if it's closed source and then it goes off the market and you were using it and now you're stuck. At least with open source, you can get something to at least move along, or have the be able to use that, right, to see it, or you still maintain it, right. and there's certain areas there, but AMD's open source software thing, and then see how that really integrates with AI as we move forward, for them to try to compete with NVIDIA. I am very interested in this because right now NVIDIA is crushing it, because there's no other competition out there. So where does AMD's footing get involved, and where can AMD take some ground? Will be interesting to see, because I think in the same way that we like competition in the consumer market, if companies have an option to buy different AI hardware, and one's cheaper than the other one and just as performant, they might look to the other one as well, right? You don't want to be just being basically scalped for AI hardware because that's your only option. With that, let me know what your thoughts are on this purchase of AMD doing Node.ai. Let me know what you think is going to go forward um, with AI, especially with AMD and NVIDIA, and where do you see Intel sitting in this as well? Leave that in the comments below. I'll be sure to read them as well. I want to thank you so much for watching Gray Overload, helping this channel grow. Like, share, subscribe, click that bell icon. It really does help out the channel. And until next time, God bless.